Can I tell you something? Your website doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to clearly show your value and make it easy to book. That's exactly what my Show It templates are built for. You can shop them all now at themonarchdesign.co/shop today. Freedom in business doesn't come from working less. It comes from deciding once. And if your brain feels tired before your day even starts, this episode is how to change that. Welcome to the Self-Made Life Podcast, the show for creative entrepreneurs who are building their dream business and life on their terms. I'm your host, Ashley Wyatt, designer, entrepreneur, mama of two, and founder of the Monarch Design Co. And I believe success isn't handed to you. You create it. Here, we're pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to run a business, the wins, the lessons, and the messy in between. Whether you're scaling your side hustle during nap time, redefining your brand, or ready to take your business full time, this show is your go-to for honest conversations, practical strategies, and inspiration to help you grow with confidence. Because being self-made isn't about doing it alone. It's about building a life and business that feels as good as it looks. So let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Made Life Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Wyatt from the Monarch Design Co. And today we're continuing my 7 Lessons in 7 Years series. And today's lesson is one that I honestly resisted for way longer than I should have, because I used to think systems were for people who were bigger than me, busier than me, more official than me. And it turns out I didn't need systems because I was scaling. I really needed systems because I was exhausted. And I was constantly reinventing the wheel every single time. Before systems, my business looked like this. Every client was custom. Every email was written from scratch. Every project lived in my head. I was making decisions all day long. By the time it got to the end of the day, I was just tapped out from decision fatigue. And, it's not big. It's not, strategic ones. It's the tiny ones. Like, how do I explain this again? Where did I save that file? What do I say if a client asks for this? And by the end of that day, I wasn't creative. I was just creatively drained and mentally just checked out. So if you feel like you're busy but not actually moving the needle forward, this might be why. Decision fatigue is real and it just quietly kills your momentum. So here's what surprised me. The more structure I added, the more creative I became. Because when the basics were handled, my brain finally had the capacity to breathe. And the systems didn't box me in. They really held me up and supported me. And it wasn't, something I constantly had to think about. So the moment that things actually did shift was when I stopped reinventing the wheel. I started deciding, okay, things once. And I started mapping this out when I decided just going through my process with the next client. I looked at how I onboarded clients, how I delivered things, what feedback works, what's included and what's not. And that's when my business stopped feeling chaotic and started to feel more intentionally. It was also around the time when I started bringing on team support as well, because I couldn't handle everything myself. I needed to shift into the leader role. And with that, I needed to lead my team and essentially tell them what I needed in order to be supported for our clients. So one of the biggest shifts for me was realizing that systems didn't have to just live in Google Docs and checklists or even like pen to paper. They could actually live inside tools that you could use every single day. One of the very first tools that I used was actually HoneyBook, which I'll get into a little bit more. But For a long time, my back end was just held together by memory and good intentions, which I do not recommend. I had client info everywhere. I used to actually have clipboards that I would hang up, emails written on the fly, follow-ups living in my head. It all worked until it didn't, until I needed to grow and expand. And I started using HoneyBook pretty early on, but I definitely was not using it to its full potential. It was a great stepping stone for me early on and helped me to move out of the chaos mode where everything was just so scattered and into something more professional. But as my business grew and my offers became more structured, I really needed something that could truly hold the client experience without me micromanaging it. And that's kind of where I found Dubsado. And I switched from HoneyBook to Dubsado for a few different reasons and nuances, mainly as a Canadian service provider working with many clients in the US. I wanted the ability to change the currency depending on where my client was. And just having more robust system and just better support. I found after a while, HoneyBook got a little bit clunky, and that's kind of where Dubsado has helped me. I mean, it is a lot more in depth than HoneyBook, I think, but in comparison, I think that it's been really great in helping me to organize my business and support what I need for my business. Having clear SOPs and canned emails have given me so much mental relief. Inside my CRMs, I started building out clear onboarding flows, canned emails for common touch points. I could even automate steps that didn't rely on me remembering everything. And suddenly I wasn't rewriting the same email at midnight. Clients they got that consistent communication. It was just something else off my plate. I didn't have to follow up multiple times with leads or after working together for Google review or anything. It was all systematized so that it supported me and my client experience and journey. Now there's also a lot of other tools that I've been using to protect my energy and peace. Tools like Fyxer AI has been a total game changer for me. So this is helping me to draft quick emails, cleaning up my inbox clutter by organizing based off of different categories, reducing the mental load of constant communication. It's like having a assistant, like a virtual assistant in your inbox, especially during a season where my capacity is definitely stretched. So these tools, don't make or break your business, but they don't just take you out of the equation. You can definitely still bring in those personal touches. You don't have to be a robot and automate all the things, but they make things more intentional and they really help to support that client experience. Because when the back end is solid, you get to show up more present where it actually matters. Are you an entrepreneur trying to grow your business and your family at the same time? Trust me, I've been there. 2 maternity leaves in 2 years, a design studio to run, and a dream that just won't quit. That's why I created my one-on-one mentorship sessions. These 60-minute strategy calls are designed for business owners like you who are navigating growth, motherhood, and everything in between. Whether you just need clarity around your offers, help planning your maternity leave, support building your team, or just a space to talk through what's actually working, I've got you. These sessions are $250 and they're already making waves with creatives who just need a fresh set of eyes and someone who gets it. Head on over to themonarchdesign.co/mentorship to book yours, or just DM me mentor on Instagram at Monarch Design Co. You don't have to figure this season out alone. This isn't something that we talk about enough, which is boundaries. So boundaries aren't about being strict. They're about being clear. So clear boundaries help to build client or trust with clients. They protect your energy and your time and space, and they make you a better service provider. When people know what to expect, everyone wins. And I've built boundaries right into my canned emails and my automated sequences, because essentially you are showing up and you are communicating with your clients, what happens next. You're just keeping them informed and communicating. So I want you to kind of like take that shift away with you. Ease also isn't something that you stumble into one day. It's built quietly, intentionally, and behind the scenes. So the more you build those boundaries, the easier it will get. And, something that I want to, leave with you as a key takeaway is, if your business is feeling chaotic, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because nothing is holding it. Really, you need to build those systems in to help hold it and guide the experience, so that you don't have to make all those decisions constantly. You can focus on what really matters. And the most freeing thing that I did in my business was, it wasn't working less. It was choosing once and trusting myself enough to stick with it. So just trusting like, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, I'm offboarding a client. I don't have to like rewrite this email a million times. I can just pop that in, personalize it a little bit based off of like our experience of working together. Or maybe there was a key takeaway, add in their assets and deliverables, and then away we go. And it's really not about turning into a robot. It's giving people a clear path from point A to point B and helping you to cross that finish line. So if this episode hit home, here's my invitation to you. Pick one thing this week and decide it once. It could be your process. It can be a boundary. Maybe it is the boundary of like your work time. Maybe it's just scheduling like 1 hour a week for CEO time. Maybe it's one way you deliver your work. And, this conversation actually came up today in a mastermind call that I was a part of. And I gave the same advice here. Is just, as you're going through the process on your next client intake or offboarding, just map it out. And there's also tools like Scribe that also help you to build out your SOPs. So SOPs just stand for standard operating procedures, in case I didn't mention that earlier, in case you don't know. But essentially, it's just how you do things your way. You could also record a Loom video of you walking through something too, and like transcribe it, and then even bring that into something like ChatGPT and ask it to map out an SOP based off of that video. So whatever you do, just pick one thing this week and just decide and start building like some kind of system with it. So if you want support building systems that actually fit your life, not someone else's business model, you can explore working with me during one of our half-day VIP sessions. This is designed for clarity, not chaos. I work with a lot of clients who like on their branding and their website, and a lot of people don't even like have a system for like their inquiries, or they're just juggling all the things and doing things manually. So we can definitely help you in setting up some sort of streamlined system based off of your needs and your clients' needs to really help streamline things and support you in that next chapter, because you don't have to carry it alone. You can map it out once and have it work harder for you. I hope that you found value in this episode. I would love to know what resonated with you. So please send me a message on Instagram. I would love to hear what is working for you, what doesn't, and what you are working on to streamline. Thanks for joining, and we'll chat next time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on the Self-Made Life podcast. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, leave a review, or hit follow so that you never miss an episode. Want to work together or grab some free resources? You can always find me over at www.themonarchdesign.co/podcast. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and go create your self-made life.
This podcast is produced, mixed, and edited by Cardinal Studio. For more information about how to start your own podcast, please visit www.cardinalstudio.co or email Mike at mike@cardinalstudio.co. You can also find the details in the show notes.